Aaron, take it away.
Wait a minute.
Oh, that's the one.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, so this is my second 1 million cups in Sacramento. This STEM Trunk is a pivot of an educational company that we started a while ago that we call Tap to Teach. So if you heard that one, thanks for coming back and listening to me again. My name is Aaron Watkins. I've been an entrepreneur in Sacramento for about 10 years. I own a marketing agency called Appency. We do marketing for mobile applications. And I'm also a parent. And as a parent, I've been very concerned about some of the things actually that Stefan was talking about in terms of the ability of our schools to educate children in science and technology. And what we realized, as we looked back at the elections and all of the kind of angst in the country about jobs and where they were going and they were being shipped overseas and automation, we said, you know what? A lot of these jobs probably aren't coming back. Automation is kind of taking over, and the jobs of tomorrow are all, not all, but the jobs of tomorrow that are kind of on top of the pile are STEM focused, so science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there was a study that came out that said that the top 10 degrees coming out of colleges are all STEM focused. But as a parent, you look at the supply of educational kits and toys that you can buy for your students, and they're really expensive, very expensive. So Lego Mindstorm's $350. Little Bits, $200. Some of the Piper computer, another $300. And as a parent, I know that when I put it in front of my kids, you go, oh, wow, this is great, this is cool, I'm going to use it, I'm going to learn it, and a month later, it's going to be in the closet, and it's going to be gathering dust. And I'm going to need something else to kind of, take that next step in education for my child. So I want to be able to kind of, switch things up. And, as a middle-class parent, I could pull off a couple of these, but only a couple. And I want my kid to have access to a lot. And if I wasn't middle class, if I was, someone who didn't have the income that I did, this would probably be completely out of my range. Which is why we came up with STEM Trunk. STEM Trunk is a subscription rental service for educational kits. So we kind of like to think of it as like Netflix, but instead of sending you DVDs, I'm sending you robots. I'm sending you drones. I'm sending you build your own computer kits. Students use it for as long as they want, get everything they want to get out of it, put it back in the box, send it back to us, get the next thing in the mail. And this is not low quality stuff. This is everything from Sphero robots, Legos. Some of the best educational equipment companies out there have kits in STEM Trunk. So in terms of the market that we're going into, the STEM subscription box model has been proven by a couple companies. So KiwiCrate is probably one of the most well-known companies in this space. Amazon recently started a program called STEM Club, where they send a new STEM educational toy every month. Now, the problem with these is that if you're a box of the month club, which means you're getting something every month and you keep it, everything inside that box has to be a low enough cost and low enough value that the company is still making money off the subscription. Okay, well that means that you're not getting robots, you're not getting computer kits, you're getting things that are cheap and plastic, and a lot of the KiwiCrate kits are cardboard cutouts that you put together, or baking soda and vinegar in a plastic bottle. The closest company that I think that we're looking at that has a similar model to ours is a company called Play. Play is a Lego subscription rental service. They have a very similar, send it, use it, build it, send it back model, doing extremely well for themselves. US market size in education, huge, right? 50 million students, K through 12. Our particular niche as we start is K through 8. We plan to expand out as we go, but we wanted something that we can kind of focus on. But as we mentioned, 10 highest earning bachelor degrees coming out of college right now, all in STEM careers, and huge interest in parents and students alike in those careers. As a company, we sell our subscription service for a minimum $39.99 a month. There's a $49.99 a month option as well. It's based off of the number of credits per month that you're getting. So every different kit that we have costs a certain number of credits to receive it. So if you hold on to a kit for 3 months, you've accrued credits and you might be able to get one of the bigger, more expensive kits. Current traction, we've been really fortunate that most of the manufacturers that we've contacted about this product not only are giving us discounts and wholesale prices to purchase their products, they're willing to help us with marketing, blasting out to their giant user bases. We've partnered with some nonprofits. A member of CUE, the Computer Using Educators nonprofit, is on our board. And we're working with some local schools to develop some curriculum that can go with these kits that is out there, just to kind of give some extension on the educational value that the companies already provide. So our mission statement, STEM Trunk supports the job force of tomorrow by providing high quality, cross-discipline, low-cost STEM educational kits to students. Think inside the trunk.
All right, thank you, Aaron. That was right on time. So, you know the drill.
I do know the drill. Everyone's got a phone?
Yes.
Okay, STEMtrunk.com right now. I expect to have about 15 new emails signed up. There's an email opt-in on the homepage. Don't have to have kids, right? The email opt-in, we are launching our crowdfunding this summer. And so if you want to help support STEM Trunk, we will send out a notification when we launch that crowdfunding. So anything that you end up sharing on social media will be of benefit to us. So if you can sign up, get us that email address, that's going to be helpful to us in the future.
So share, share, share.
Yep.
Any other way the community can help you out?
That's probably the biggest one for sure, right? Because as we've got our website up in process and we're getting kind of just all of our logistics in place, really it's going to be about hitting that Indiegogo campaign hard once we launch this summer, getting that successfully funded. We're shooting for about 200 subscriptions to start, and then going from there. So.
Okay, all right, I'll open it up to questions. Questions?
Yeah.
So you're starting your Indiegogo campaign this summer. Have you thought of anything, any more products, or how many products do you guys have in total for this
So
year?
there's about 25 or so on our site right now. There's about 40 in our queue. So we don't have all the products up on the site yet.
Okay.
So we go through an evaluation process with each product because we have to make sure that it's reusable, that it's durable. We do expect, as a rental company, we do expect some level of breakage or part loss, or so a lot of the kits we have to make sure that we either know how to repair them or that we have spare parts and things that we can use in case that happens.
And within the 40 products that you guys have in queue, what's the target age range that you're?
We're looking at K through 8 right now. The younger kids are kind of hard. So the amount of products available that we think are, effective and meet our criteria in like the kindergarten, first grade range is pretty low.
Yeah, that's where my son is. That's
Right.
I understand.
But there are some that are really cool, and so we're always kind of keeping our eye. We also went to Maker Faire just to kind of walk around and see like what's out there and is there anything new.
So it's a subscription-based service. Approximately how many, they were tokens or credits?
Credits.
Credits, okay. So how many credits approximately are people receiving each month, and what's the average value credit-wise of these products that you're bringing out?
So the smaller subscription, the $39.99, we're doing it as a 2 credit per month. In our head, a credit is about $75 worth of MSRP. So if a product is $150, it's around 2 credits, right? We haven't launched yet, so I don't have like a number of how many people have signed up for each one. We do have about 300 people on our mailing list so far in terms of events that we've done and people who have just kind of raised their hand and been interested.
So approximately how long do you think the average person is going to be holding on to these projects? Are you expecting that the larger value ones will be holding on to significantly longer than the short projects, or?
We're not sure, actually. It's something that we're going to be doing a lot of kind of monitoring, because I think that certain products have a lot longer lifetime to them, and some of them are, you use them for a week or two, and the kids can be like, okay, that was fun, and I've you know, not that it was a bad product, but sometimes you get out of it what it offers in a shorter period of time. So, one of the things that the credit-based system allows us to do is not have someone get it, send it back, get it, send it back, get it, send it back super fast, because you know, we do take a hit on shipping, because it's unlike, you know, Netflix, which sends you a 35-cent mailer. Like, it costs us a decent amount to not only send it there but also send it back as well.
So, to kind of follow up on that, what are you using to ship these boxes? That's what I was going to say. It sounds
It
like
varies. So we plug into ShipStation, and sometimes what we've done is, you know, flat rate works best, but other times, you know, we have custom boxes, and so sometimes what we're going to be doing is taking our custom box, have a return label in it, sticking it inside of a flat rate shipper, and sending it there, and then having them send it back in ours, because we don't want to send them a flat rate shipper, have them destroy the box, and then be like, oh, wait, I need something new to send it back in.
right.
So it really varies. We're focusing a lot of our marketing early on in, you know, California, Nevada, Arizona, just because shipping costs are cheaper. Not that we're not going to take a customer that comes in from New York, but we are focusing on the U.S. at the beginning.
Cool.
Have you looked into, this require like a relatively large, like density of customers in the area, but more of a red box ad where you've got a place where a bunch of the kids are available sort of thing, and somebody just has a membership code and swaps it out the way that you can avoid some of the hassle with, and because shipping not only is expensive, but chance of damage and loss is goods and transit as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of, like, our local customer base will probably drive the delivery to them, you know, just because it you know, taking one day and driving around to a bunch of different houses, probably going to save you money. But in terms of scale, like, you know, having, you know, a couple people, so, you know, we kind of have to do the shipping model because it's going to be hard to handle anyone other than our local community with that kind of a program.
Have you thought about having sort of a different business model for a classroom or a school where they would actually pay more because more kids would be
Right.
touching and playing with it?
So we actually started out STEM Trunk with the idea that this was a service for schools, right? So Q, the organization that has an advisor on our board, has a program where a bunch of people have donated them STEM equipment, and they loaned it out to schools for free, right? But they don't have enough of it, so they have this huge backlog, and you know, part of STEM Trunk was like, wow, you've got this huge backlog, there's a business model. We realized very quickly that the selling into schools is a much different process, right? So it's a much longer lead time. The amount of equipment that we would need to be able to handle schools is very different. So, you know, giving a school 10 Mindstorm kits to do a robotics class is $3,500, right, of equipment costs for us. So what we decided to do is to back off of the school to do the individuals first, and my marketing experience is also direct to consumer, so to do that first, and then as we grow that and build up our inventory, then go back into the school mode and say, okay, and what we might do is instead of a subscription type service, more of just an equipment rental. So, you know, it might not be that you're subscribing for the school year and have a bunch of different things. It might be that you just need to buy or rent, you know, a robotics kit for a certain amount of time and don't want to worry about upkeep or storage or those things, so they use it. And those would come with lesson plans and a little bit more of an educational focus. Not that the others aren't educational focus, but more of a classroom setting focus.
Have you thought about homeschools? That's kind of like a happy medium, and also they'll have market for you?
Absolutely. So homeschools, one of the great things about them is a lot of them have funds they have to spend on educational products. And so we actually have a big database of approved vendor applications that we're going to be going through. We can't really do the approved vendor applications until the company is more live because we can't really fully be evaluated yet. One of the marketing ideas that we're running with is kind of this Tupperware party type idea where homeschoolers tend to travel in packs. So you get one homeschool mom who's really into it. It's true. And you get one homeschool mom who's really into it. You say, great, we'll give you everything you need to present this to your other homeschool moms, and for every mom that you get to sign up, you get a free month. So
It's a good idea.
Is there kind of a try before you buy period? Maybe just a few sets?
eventually. So one of the things that Play does is, if you get a Lego kit and you really want to keep it, you can give them the rest of the money and buy it. Which I think is great because we're buying it at wholesale, so we'll make a profit on that. In the beginning, I don't want to do that, if only because it's one more level of inventory management that I have to worry about, and so it's kind of part of the growth.
Is there like a buy it and keep it sort of thing? Like
That was that.
Oh.
Right, that's what I said, yeah. So the idea is
I
that,
wasn't listening very well.
if eventually there will be if you do really like this and don't want to send it back to us, we'll let you pay for the rest of it. Right now, what we've done with a lot of manufacturers is we said, would you give us a discount code coupon or something that we can stick in their box so that if they do want to purchase one for themselves, they can go directly to the manufacturer, buy it from them, and get a discount.
Are there conferences like homeschool and STEM toy conferences that maybe you should go to?
Yeah, absolutely. They're actually, educators love to do conferences. We've done our first public appearance was in booths at Science March, and that got us tons of email opt-ins. We're going to be at the International Children's Fair here in Sacramento this weekend. We missed boothing at Maker Faire, but we will next year. But there are plenty of things like that finding the right group and getting in front of them.
Have you applied to, Hacker Lab is doing a little maker thing in Rancho Cordova on June 10th, and they're looking for, it's free, they're looking for people to apply. And then there'll be the Rockland Maker Faire in October, I think, or
I
September.
have not looked at that.
Yeah.
So you said you were modeling this on Netflix, but they had a really different set of economics than you have in that, what they charged you for a month more than covered the wholesale cost of what they sent you, right? So their cash flow on unit economics basis, they're almost cash flow, ignoring marketing, they're cash flow positive at the beginning. Your model instead, I give you $40 in a credit card, you ship me $300 worth of stuff. I cancel the credit card and don't send it back, you're out $260, right? Or, they had a real simple validation methodology on a return disk. They have a computer scan it and make sure it's still good. You've got to have a human being go through and make sure everything works, repair it if it's broken. It costs you a lot of money if it's broken.
Yeah, the financial model
how do you think
is based less on Netflix. It's more that we use the Netflix reference because the marketing idea people click. The financial model is more based on Play's model, which also has the same issues of, they receive their Lego kits back, have to make sure all the pieces are there, have to sanitize them, get them ready to go for another consumer. Is there the possibility that someone will both cancel their card and keep the product? Yes. But if they simply don't send it back, we do have their card on file. They would have to cancel their card, not to get us to end up charging them the MSRP if they didn't return it.
And does the customer pay if they break the product?
There's a certain level of product failure or kids are rough with things, right, that we were going to expect. If they take a kit and throw it in the pool, yeah.
Is there a certain deposit that you guys have thought about instilling, just no?
No, we feel like that would be too much of a barrier to entry to a lot of people, especially in lower income.
I think another model that's similar that you could look at is Roxbox. It's jewelry, and they send you decently expensive jewelry, and then I pay $19 a month, and then you can send it back whenever and get more. But if you keep it, then they charge you for the retail price, but then they probably have to do similar things of cleaning it, making sure it's not broken type of thing.
Right, and we will eventually have that pay to keep it. We
Right.
just want to kind of build up our inventory first.
Right.
because, in the beginning, as we launch, we're gonna have a very limited amount of inventory to kind of manage. And if people suddenly start buying it and then we have to go turn around and like quickly buy more, then.
Right. I was just saying it's like a model you could look at kind of their rules and stuff as just another idea.
Another way to possibly get in front of educators is running summer camps. I know my son gets a list of camps and sponsored by his school, but then also through the CSD that are technologically focused. It's a great way to introduce yourself to educators and see how you can fill in blind spots that they might have.
Yeah.
And start that conversation at a and make money at the same time.
But especially as we get into where educators are targeted as opposed to
But even
parents.
parents
Right.
might, so another way to.
I read an email yesterday, actually, a woman in the Bay Area who hosts like rich kids' birthday parties and stuff, and she's like, oh, can you just bring a bunch to a birthday party and then we'll just buy them all at the end. I was like, thought about that.
But seriously, they get these video game trucks that just pull up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing, but more education based.
Right.
The Bay Area would be a good market too.
For sure. And that's kind of the same idea that we're doing with a lot of these events. Is like we're just going. We built even like a little arena so that we have a lot of the robots out and let kids come up and play with them and talk to their parents while the kids are playing. Get the email opt in.
I think this is an amazing
Thank you.
idea here. It's beautiful. Both of you guys actually. I have a 5-year-old son, so this is like the best day for me to come. You guys are awesome. Unfortunately, you have to be in science function. It's so hard. You guys are all cool. I'll be back next month. Thank you. Seriously.
Other questions?
Weekly? Yeah. Oh.
I have a suggestion, but you probably already are on this. Writing some kind of white paper about how STEM toys make kids be better.
Especially their grammar.
Especially their grammar. But another way of collecting email addresses, if people want to read this content that you've written that has some research or something in it. Great way to collect interested people and maybe in preparation for your campaign.
Yeah, and we're trying to get our kind of content marketing up and running. I mean, like blog posts and then post stuff on Medium and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of things to do before.
Yes. All right. Any other questions?
Awesome. Thank you.
I will close this out. Looks like we've already lost a few people. Good job. Let's give Karen.